After a late night in St. Louis, thanks to the rain and in part due to the really late start time, the race results are in. It's one of the better races, and there's a lot to talk about, so let's just hop right in. Joseph Newgarden wins the race. Really impressive given the injuries he sustained at Indy. Not a huge surprise because he won half the races at this circuit, but still, credit where credit's due. One of the better performances of his career. Marcus Ericsson second. One of, if not his best races for Andretti. It hasn't been the most fruitful of partnerships, but it's definitely been really good this weekend. Great to see Marcus back up front, leading laps in contention for victory. Super good at a crucial time in his future, with rumors circulating that his seat is at risk for 2027. Christian Rasmussen is a man that does not have to worry about that. He signed a contract extension with ECR earlier this week. P3, wonderful result for him. We know short ovals are going to be where he excels. It was this race 1 year ago where he took his main podium and kind of announced himself at to the world. But ECR has been on a struggle for the last couple of weeks. Last car finishes, just really bad mistakes and problems for the team, so definitely a confidence boost within ECR and for Christian Rasmussen. On to the top car battles. Joseph Newgarden, obviously winning the race, wins over at Team Penske, his third win of the season, breaking the tie with Scott McLaughlin. They're all still chasing David Malukas. Don't know what happened to little Dave this weekend. Fast in qualifying, just missed the setup in the race and struggled. He has been picked to win. Obviously that hasn't happened. Bit of a missed opportunity for him, but I'm sure it will all come good at some point in the coming weeks for David. That first win is for sure on the horizon. Over to Andretti Autosport, or Andretti Global I should say. By far a better race car than qualifying car. All three of them started deep in the field, but they all come home with a top 10 finish. Marcus Ericsson getting his second top car of the year and a podium finish. And Will Power, top 10. Shout out to him. It's been a really tough start to his Andretti career. That part has been shown and in the media like crazy all year. But top 10 result, hopefully that can build some momentum as we head into the summer stretch. ECR, Christian Rasmussen, third top car of the year, podium finish. For sure exactly what the team needed. It's been a rough stretch of races. Alex Rossi in 18th kind of reiterates that. But Rasmussen giving the team a bit of hope and a bit of light. Definitely a good positive to take away from the weekend. Short ovals obviously are one of their better styles of circuits. Rasmussen shows off. Rossi, what can you do? But definitely a great result for the ECR team this weekend. Over to Juncos. Shout out Rinus VeeKay. I kind of called it in my preview over at All About IndyCar. VeeKay's just been doing really solid all year. He's kept out of trouble. He's kept it going in a straight line. He's been super consistent, and he's been really good on ovals. I mean, he had the team's best start and finish at Indianapolis. And he's shown it again this weekend at a style of track that we know the team is good at. See Connor Daly last year with his podium over in Milwaukee. Fantastic result for VeeKay and the whole JHR team. He's up 8-1 in top car battle to Stingray Robb. Not really any surprise there. Stingray's very much there to bring in the funding. We love Stingray, but the performances are just not there. Meyer Shank Racing, kind of the same as always. Like Marcus Armstrong's always in that 8th to 12th place position. And it's not flashy. He doesn't really get shown too much on the broadcast. He just quietly does his thing. Felix Rosenquist, obviously the higher highs. See the Indy 500, see Long Beach. This weekend just didn't quite have it. Started up front, couldn't really stay up front for Fro. Armstrong surprisingly up 6-3. That's definitely a surprise for me when looking through all this data, because thinking and having to watch the season, you'd expect Felix Rosenqvist to be up 6-3, just with how the season's played out. So, really intriguing battle here at MSR. Over at McLaren, what did I say last week? Christian Lundgaard, Pato O'Ward, they're always together. It seems like every week they're finishing one position apart, 2 positions apart. This weekend, McLaren, I guess, just didn't really have it. I don't think the strategy played too well into their favors. Lundgaard did get the best of Pato, which is quite a surprise given that Pato's the oval king over at McLaren. Lundgaard definitely struggles more so at these ovals, so great result for the Danish driver. It's 5-4 in top car battle over there. Really, really tight. Always has been with these guys. It's kind of just dependent on track style as to which one you're gonna, expect to be up front for Team Papaya. Nolan Siegel, really unfortunate result for him. He got taken out by Palou. Palou was overtaking to lap the Californian, and just didn't work out. Siegel into the wall, didn't finish. Really unfortunate result for Nolan. I don't think he had the pace anyways to do much of anything, but just getting some laps in, and obviously opportunities were there to capitalize, and just couldn't do it. Not really his fault, just happenstance. I don't think it's going to be too often we see Chip Ganassi racing this late in the video. They just got really caught out by the strategy side of things. It's not that the cars didn't have pace. I mean, Dixon and Palou were in the mix all day. Simpson was kind of around the 15th place position. Simpson ran out of fuel during one of the cautions. Palou ran out of fuel coming down pit road. Dixon, just strategy didn't work out for him. He's top car here. Interestingly, only the second time that he's beaten Palou this year. Just goes to show you how just unstoppable Alex Palou has been. Because even on a down race for Ganassi, he's usually their lead man. I mean, that makes sense when you look at the standings as well, but it's still quite interesting, given Scott Dixon's been the man for 25 years at this team. So to be shown up like this for a couple years now is quite the storyline. Simpson, he's young. We kind of expect him to not really be challenging his teammates just yet. But for what it's worth, he still hasn't beaten them. I'm sure that will happen at some point. So just gotta keep plugging away, and we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, it's just really bad result for CGR. Over to AJ Foyt Racing, Santino Ferrucci top car this weekend. 6th top car of the season, 13th place finish. Wasn't really as much of a factor as one would expect on these short ovals. Kyle Collette, though, I think that was the standout drive of the day. Top 5, top 10 all race, mixing it up, dicing it up with the leaders. Led a couple laps as well. It's a shame that his engine, went kaput and took him out of the race, because I think he would have been on for a brilliant result. I think he was running 6th or 7th at the time. So pretty unfortunate result for him, but definitely there's more to it than the box score will show. And it's a brilliant day for the Brazilian, as he looks to maybe prove and show and get into one of the better rides in the series. I believe the Fox broadcast was saying Hauger's in line for Andretti. Collette, who knows where he might end up, but definitely a great result for the young Brazilian racing driver. Speaking of Dennis Hauger, he unfortunately didn't get to race this weekend. Some sort of technical problem. I think there was something with fuel or oil dripping or something along those lines. Didn't even get to start the race. Really unfortunate for him. One of the things I prided him on in the last video was he just hasn't really made any mistakes. He hasn't really had any problems. He's completed all the laps possible. He's done brilliant job of just learning and getting stuck in there. He's obviously done very well. I think he's on like 3 or 4 top 12 finishes. So he's doing the bits. I say the Fox broadcast said something about he's in line to take Marcus Ericsson's seat potentially for 2027. As silly season ramps up, obviously I'll keep you guys all updated. But yeah, it's a shame for Dale Coyne Racing. Romain Grosjean 15th, didn't really have much of anything. Again, I don't think I saw him at all in the broadcast. Interesting, even with this, he still trails Hauger for top car honors. Just goes to show how impressive the Norwegian Nightmare has been this season, because you would very much expect Grosjean to have the upper hand in this particular battle. And finally, over to Rahal and Milanigan. No surprise that they're the last team on the grid here. They've always kind of been struggling on ovals, in at least a recent-ish memory. Mick Schumacher, interestingly, is top car this weekend. Second top car of the season. Really, really, really good job. And 16th, kept out of the walls, didn't really see any problems, got quicker as the race went on. Kind of what you want from Mick right now is just get all the laps in, continue to improve throughout the race, and yeah, that's all this year is. And then hopefully, mid next year, once he's kind of gone acclimatized to the series, to the championship, to the circuit, the cars, everything else, he can start producing some of the elite results that we know he's capable of. Louis Foster, 20th, I don't think that car had any speed in it. He was way off the pace. I think he was 10 laps down by the end of it. I don't believe he had any mechanical problems or issues on the car. Just slow. Bit surprised that he was even meeting minimum speed, to be honest. It felt really, really off the pace and almost kind of dangerous. So yeah, 20th for him. Graham Rahal obviously crashing out. He's still well ahead on top car honors here. Over to the standings halfway through the season. Alex Palou still leading. That's not going to change anytime soon. Kyle Kirkwood does bring it to within a one race points deficit. It would take a lot for Kirkwood to get the lead, but it's not impossible, and we're only halfway through the season. If Kirkwood can just go on a run of races, it's not out of the question to challenge Palou for this championship. Same can be said for David Malukas. He's 68 points back. Be a little bit harder for him, but never say never. Lundgaard brings it to within 100 points to the championship, but Newgarden goes up the field, and Marcus Ericsson jumps up into the top 10 as Graham Rahal falls off after the DNF. Over to qualifying data. Alex Palou, 5th pole on season, 4th in a row. He's the first driver to do that since Will Power back in 2011. So yeah, it hasn't been done in forever. I was 4 years old at the time, so I mean that's just absolutely insane from the 4-time champion. He and Pato O'Ward are the only drivers to start top 12 in every single race. And Palou's also been in top 6 in all but one. So just unreal consistency, qualifying, racing. There is no weakness of Alex Palou. Over to the race data, we finally have another multi-time winner, Joseph Newgarden, winning obviously in Phoenix and then in St. Louis this weekend. That was his 5th top 10 of the season, tied with a whole bunch of other people, including Rahal, Ericsson, Dixon, Lundgaard. Everyone is chasing Kyle Kirkwood, though. 8 top 10s on the season. 1 win. Should actually be 9 top 10s. I don't know why my graph is actually wrong. My apologies on that. Yeah, just Kirkwood's been on another level. Palou and Malukas chasing him pretty quickly. Pato O'Ward on a bit of an island of his own, but definitely good result for him. Over to the lapside category, with it being an oval, a lot of changes happened. Most notable being Marcus Ericsson jumping from not even on the list last weekend to P2, just barely getting past David Malukas. Joseph Newgarden also jumping up onto the list. Both of them led the vast majority of the weekend. Same with Alex Palou, but he was already quite a ways up at the front. So that doesn't really do anything for the results, just kind of solidifies him as the leading driver. Over to miles led, much the same story, with Ericsson and Newgarden jumping up the field. Scott Dixon obviously also coming up into the top 5, with Rasmussen dropping off as he's led most of his laps on ovals, so obviously doesn't have as many laps led, miles led. Over to miles completed, Kevin Simpson is the latest driver to fall off the perfect score results. I think he was 20 laps down, just ran out of fuel, and then there's a whole saga with that. So shame for him. He's doing quite well for himself. Bigger shame for Dennis Hauger and for Nolan Siegel, both of whom were top 10, both of whom were the first 2 retirements of the race. Missing out on a chunk of miles. Replacing them on the top 10 is Stingray Robb and Kyle Collett, Brazilian rookie, just continuing to impress. Now we go over to Townsend Bell's best worst finish. Kevin Simpson dropped down a little bit because of his 22nd place result. Interesting, he still stays top 6, so not really much to write home on that front. On the second worst, there's a big change. Alex Palou obviously coming home 17th. That drops him off of the list for second worst, best worst finish. Or second best, best worst finish. Kyle Kirkwood also the only driver to still be in the top 10 every race weekend. Palou has been replaced by Scott McLaughlin on the list. Over to the most DNFs, Kyle Collett, Nolan Siegel, and Graham Rahal all crashing out at some point. Collett had a mechanical failure, engine failure, but they've all DNF'd. Siegel and Collett was their second wins of the season. Everyone is still chasing Christian Rasmussen. I did think about putting Dennis Hauger on here. I feel like that shouldn't really count. It was a did not start, did not finish, so that's why I've not included him on the list here. And finally, over to last car, similar deal to the DNF factor. I haven't included Dennis Hauger on here, just feels wrong. So Nolan Siegel jumps on the board, lovely papaya color. Finally, someone not named Rasmussen or Rossi. The 2 ECR cars have been dominating this list in the last couple of races. They're still on top, with a couple drivers still chasing them on one win, or one last car.